My name is Jason Stevens. I am originally from the Massillon-Canton area, which is about an hour directly to the east from here. And so I still have family there, so it's nice that I'm able to work in a place like Ashbrook, where I have friends and family always nearby. This semester, I am teaching for the undergrad Civil War and Reconstruction, a section of Democracy in America for our Ashbrook freshmen. And at the graduate level for our MAG students, I'm teaching a class on sectionalism and Civil War. So there's a lot of overlap between the two classes on the Civil War, one for the undergrads and one for the graduates. There's a lot more reading at the graduate level. We'll throw in more primary sources. We might throw in more secondary sources as well. The quality of the students, right, they have a little more experience. They know a little bit more at that level as well. But the conversations at either level, they're always engaging. When I got married, my wife brought into our marriage a cat named Margot, without the T at the end because she's not pretentious. So yes, we have Margot, and for some reason she likes to eat toilet paper. So we always have to make sure we keep the toilet paper out of reach of the cat. I wouldn't say I'm a cat person. My wife certainly is. Margot and I, we tolerate each other. We're in a period of detente. I earned my PhD at the University of Dallas, in Dallas, Texas, at the Institute of Philosophic Studies there. And actually previous to that, I earned my BA here at Ashland University, where I was an Ashbrook Scholar back in the early 2000s. As a student, a friend of mine told me about the Ashbrook Scholar Program. I wanted to study political science, but I was pretty intent on going to Ohio University. But when I heard about the Ashbrook Scholar Program, I interviewed with Dr. Peter Schramm. And as many people will tell you, right, when you meet Peter for the first time, oftentimes that is something you never forget. And in my case, it was exactly that, but it was also a life-changing experience because it was after that interview that I decided to come to Ashland University, become an Ashbrook Scholar. And right after grad school, I was fortunate enough to be able to come back here and teach. I started teaching at AU as an adjunct at first in 2011, and then I was brought in as a full-time faculty in 2015. And I've been here ever since. So in addition to being an assistant professor of political science and history, I also serve as co-director of the Ashbrook Scholar Program. I'm also academic advisor for our MAG program, our Masters of Arts in American History and Government program. So I work a lot with undergraduates, graduate students, and during the summers, right, Ashbrook hosts a series of Ashbrook Academies for high school students, and I also help teach in those as well. So high school, college, graduate, yeah, Ashbrook does it all. Peter must have seen something in me that I didn't see in myself at the time because I thought I had totally botched the interview. I didn't cry, it wasn't that bad. But he accepted me into the program. And I'll never forget when he told me that Ashbrook would take me. He said, if you ever come to class unprepared, you haven't done the readings, if that day ever comes, I'll take a quarter out of my pocket, slide it across the table to you, and tell you, call home, you're done. Now, I tell that story to my students today, and they're left scratching their heads like, why would he need a quarter to call home? Right? But he was trying to light a fire under you. Like he was trying to not provoke you, but he was trying to get you to rise to the occasion. Yeah. Right? Because students left wanting to, with the idea of, you know what, no, I'm going to prove him wrong. I'm going to come to class every day. I'm going to do all the readings. I'm going to come prepared. I'm going to throw myself into this. And that was the kind of reaction he was trying to provoke. It was nothing mean or anything like that. I don't think he actually even meant what he said, because Peter really, once you got to know him, this was like a giant teddy bear. But he was trying to, again, get you to rise to the occasion, to meet the challenge of college. And this was his special way of doing that. Mm-hmm. Look, I think whenever somebody was rejected from the scholar program, it was because they had little to no interest in the big questions, the big questions of human existence. What is justice? What is God? What does it mean to be a human being? What does it mean to be a citizen? If your mind had absolutely no interest in those questions, yeah, you would probably not enjoy being a member of the Ashbrook Scholar Program, because Ashbrook Scholars, they're all like-minded, not because they don't all have the same opinions, of course, they don't have all the same answers to those questions, but they're all interested in those questions, right? There's a spark that, right, they gravitate towards, right, these big human questions. You didn't have to have all the answers in order for Peter to take you into the program. But as long as you showed interest in wanting to learn, wanting to pursue the truth, I think if he could see evidence of that, that was enough, as you said, to, right, take a chance on us. I'll admit I've never been a big fan of Charles Dickens. I know a lot of my colleagues are, and that's fine. Just have never really been attracted to a lot of what Dickens has produced. I'll also admit I read The Great Gatsby and wasn't particularly impressed with F. Scott Fitzgerald. Seemed like a lot of navel gazing to me, but again, maybe that's just me. But yeah, I guess Charles Dickens and The Great Gatsby. I think my wife would say chocolate. I'll say vanilla. See, now that's a good question, although I feel like I can't answer it because, right, at Ashbrook, I'm so fortunate, I'm so lucky to have this freedom that I really get to teach the classes that I want to teach. So I've taught classes on the Bible, I've taught classes on Abraham Lincoln, I teach a Shakespeare seminar, I get to teach a class on the Civil War, on the American founding. Right, that's what I'm doing. I'm teaching the classes that I want to teach, and it's incredible, it's amazing, and I'm so lucky to be here. Thinking about saying an ape, but actually, since we were talking about cats and my wife's cat, I'll just say a dog. Golden Retriever, black, no cream, no sugar, none of this double mocha latte, just plain black coffee, please. Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, and my wife. See, my goal would be to try to get off the island. So my first guess is to bring a book on how to get off a stranded island, how to get off a deserted island. I'll say a bar of soap, my handgun, and a book about how to escape from a deserted island.